All right, so here we finally have the new 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Bit of a refresh this year. Comes in North Sky Blue Metallic on jet black cloth interior. And I really love just the overall look of the RST trim. But this one comes with a 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. This one does not have the fuel management though, but it does get that 10-speed automatic transmission. And as we get to the front end here, we have our all-new fascia there, LED daytime running lights, LED fog lamps, and LED headlamps. Didn't think I'd like it this much, but especially on this RST trim, kind of digging it. And then down here we have the customary 20-inch aluminum wheels on the RST. Get passive keyless entry on the front two doors. And here are the controls of the power door locks, windows, mirrors. And that's just a quick first taste of how we already have this new refreshed interior with the buttons. And then down here, electronic parking brake is here, drive modes, tow haul mode, four-wheel drive, auto, and then we have our headlamp controls there. And there's our power front driver's seat with power lumbar support. And please excuse the wind, it came out of nowhere as soon as I started filming. And let's just hop in the back seat for a moment. So of course, this being a crew cab truck, especially a Silverado, plenty of leg room, and I'm 6'3" and still have plenty of room in that front seat there. And there's just a quick look at that new infotainment system and new center stack there. Cup holders there. Here are our rear seat vents, and then we have a USB-C and USB-A charging port there. And next we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the window sticker in the back. So here's our window sticker here. So it stickers for $54,840, and then those are the few options that are on here. And this is all that is included. And a big shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for letting me review this today. A link to their website is in the description. But there's our back end there, and this is pretty identical to the outgoing model, the 21s, 20, and then the 19. And there's the bed there. And then we're just gonna take a quick look at the front passenger seat. And there that is there. And now we're gonna take a quick look under the hood. And there's that 5.3 liter V8. It's pretty much covered up. But now let's get to that refreshed interior. So steering wheel carries over for the most part, but we do have paddle shifters here. It's a nice addition. And we'll get back to the controls later. But all new infotainment system here. Very large and wide, which I like. And then we have the new Google system that was in the 22 Yukons and Tahoes, carried that over. So we get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. And then we even have our podcast, Google News. And then we also get wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto there. And of course we have our Google Maps here. So we can use that system there. And then of course we show traffic and all of that here. And I want to get that off. There it is. And just really crisp graphics here and really precise with traffic data. Really like that. So that's pretty cool. And there's our backup camera there with guidelines. And then below we have we can roll all 4 of the windows down at one time. Traction control, of course we can toggle that tailgate to open it, the auto stop, and then the lane departure there. And then down here we have our dual zone automatic climate controls. And I'm just gonna roll these windows up and I'll show you how that works. So we cut it on here, we can adjust the temperature here, fan speed, and then we have 3-stage heated seats, so we can do just the back up here, or we can do the back and the bottom here. Then we have a USB and USB-C port there to run the radio. And I do really like how they did this here. So for the shifter, just hit the button on the side, pull it down for drive, tap for low, tap up for neutral, and then hit the button, pull all the way up for reverse, and then press P for park. But this center console cubby stack is really, really nice. So we have that 3-prong household plug-in there instead of up there where it used to be. Then we have another USB-C, USB-A port, but the wireless charging pad is right here. So we can just kind of slide it in there and then close all this up. And we still have a nice gap to either run the cord through here for what you're charging with the 3-prong, or to just grab your phone. And it's nice and wide, so it can even fit my 13 Pro Max that I have. And then we have a removable tray there and a little light there. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. There's our glove compartment with owner's manuals. And then for that top cubby there, instead of having to pull right here, you just hit this button here and then you just shut it back. And then also I like how they put the volume knob power here nice and close to you, because this is what you'll be using most of the time. So really smart. And then we have our gauge cluster, which is digital for this year. And then we have several different display layouts, and I'll kind of show you the differences. And for me, my favorite is probably going to be, it's between the classic and the progressive, just because I like having needles and they look really good digital in my opinion. But over here to the left side of the steering wheel, you can toggle that cruise, forward collision gap adjust, heated steering wheel toggle, which this one needs a retrofit because of the chip shortage. So when those come back, you can get that installed later. And then we have our voice command controls here. And then we can actually scroll through the gauge cluster. And then, like I said, paddle shifters. There's our push button start. And then we have our all new key fob for 22 with remote start here. But next we're gonna go ahead and take this new 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 RST out on the road for a quick test drive. So, per usual, really liking the 10 speed right off the bat. Just shifts very smoothly. And I'm going to go ahead and change the mode and put it into sport. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of throttle with these paddle shifters. So I'll put it in the low mode to do that. Makes sense. So pretty accurate. Put the cruise on here. And a very smooth ride coming down the interstate here. Yeah, very nice ride. And wind noise is very minimal. And it is extremely windy outside today, so very impressed there. And the auto stop was so smooth coming on. I didn't even know that it had come on until I started it back up. And then of course I could barely hear that. And almost instant letting my foot off the brake, it was ready to go. But honestly, in terms of the drivability of this truck, a lot of it is carried over from the outgoing model, the 19 through the 21. But just the technology alone, it just really, it's a new truck really, especially this whole center stack here, the digital gauge cluster, the paddle shifters, everything is very nicely put. And honestly, GM should have done this to the Sierras and Silverados in 2019. But better late than never, I guess. So a few new features, still pretty impressive. And this will bring me to the end of my review of the new 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 RST.